So, hello people, this is Sai Krishna again. I have secured rank 125 in UPSC Civil Services Examination 2025, and I have this video is about my GS3 approach and the questions I generally received from the candidates and to better their score or to get a hang of GS3 in the first place. So I have scored 94 in GS3 and I have given um, 2 mock tests of GS3 between this prelims and mains, and this is my second mains. For my first mains I have also given 3 mock tests for GS3. So I don't really have an elaborate notes, but I have made certain pointers and I have made use of certain sources of data points like economic survey, the budget mainly. So I have shared that the notes I have made in Notion in the Telegram channel, which I am going to mention in the description of this video. So in my first mains I have secured 87 marks. So I could improve to 94 with small tweaks in my answer. So I know GS3 is low scoring and 94 marks is considered good marks and 87 is considered average among the selected candidates. So the general problems that people face in GS3 is the vastness of the syllabus. इसमें इकोनॉमी भी होती है, एग्रीकल्चर, साइंस एंड टेक, एनवायरनमेंट, internal security, and yeah, it's too much at the outset of the syllabus points that are mentioned in the UPSC official notification. But when you look at the PYQs of GS3, so there are repetitive themes that are covered. So PYQs are the very important source of limiting your GS3 preparation. So as we can see in economy, there are 3 to 4 questions, 4 to 6 questions, both included 10 markers and 15 markers. And agriculture will have 2 to 4 questions. Science and tech will have 2 to 4 questions, 3 to 4 questions. Environment we have generally 3 questions or 4 questions. And internal security we compulsorily have 4 questions in every year's paper. So this amounts to, so this is the composition of these 20 marks. So you can look out for any compilation that is available in the market of the topic wise division of GS3 questions, PYQs. So economy may be they revolve around inclusive development, growth stories, and any governing landmark reforms that are made by the government, जैसे CPI and CPI के जो कैलकुलेशन में बेस ईयर चेंज, वो सब इस ईयर के लिए और पिछले साल भी इम्पोर्टेंट थे. एंड GDP कैलकुलेशन चेंज ऐसे सब सो वो डिफरेंसेस. एंड सो बैंकिंग से मैंने इतने क्वेश्चंस नहीं देखा है. एंड जनरली दिस इज इट इन थीम्स में पूछा जाता है. एग्रीकल्चर में देयर इज़ अबाउट FCI, there is a question about the National Food Security Act, and there are questions about market mechanisms for agriculture like MSP वगैरह. एंड स्कीम्स के बारे में स्पेसिफिकली क्वेश्चंस तो नहीं पूछते हैं, बट द डबलिंग फार्मर्स इनकम. सो ये जो वेराइटी ऑफ मेजर थीम्स हैं जो PYQs से यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई देम. साइंस एंड टेक में द लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट्स स्पेस रिसर्च में पूछा जाता है. एंड जैसे 2022 में वी हैव वी हैव हैड अ क्वेश्चन अबाउट दिस वैक्सीन्स. तो the COVID vaccines. तो जो like GS3 is easier to prepare than other subjects in my opinion, क्योंकि if you read the newspapers and if you are aware of the macro issues जो बहुत relevant है, बहुत ज़्यादा macro level पे हमारा डे टू डे लाइफ को इम्पैक्ट करते हैं, उन्हीं से आते हैं जनरली क्वेश्चंस GS3 में. एंड सो एज UPSC notification mentions that the requirement for a person to be a civil servant is that is a very well informed youth and generally curious citizen of India. तो वो वाले क्वालिटीज़ इधर बहुत अच्छे तरीके से टेस्ट होते हैं. तो इन्वायरमेंट में भी उस लाइक 2025 में वी हैव हैड अबाउट इंडियाज नेशनली डिटरमाइंड contributions commitments, sorry. And in every year we have the questions about some conventions which is in prominence in that during that year. तो and we have कभी कभी बाउंसर क्वेश्चंस तो आ ही जाते हैं GS3 में. जैसे in 2022 we have had this question on the utility of this cellulose. I really don't have any idea where this stemmed from, but yeah, वैसे questions तो होते ही है and everyone is equally surprised by these questions. तो internal security में uniformly 4 questions तो आते ही है. We have internal security is the easiest topic to cover for mains in my opinion, because there are only certain limited topics and subtopics. Left wing extremism, northeast insurgency, ठीक है, terrorism, ये organized crime networks, and we have maritime security, inland security, and border security. जो so and इनमें तरह तरह के गवर्नमेंट्स इनिशिएटिव्स. सो इट्स वेरी क्रिस्प. मतलब इसमें एक अच्छा सा नोट्स बनाना बाय इन्वेस्टिंग 3 to 4 days will give you a sure shot answers for 4 questions. बहुत अच्छे से लिख सकते हैं. And people generally write well about this. Due to shortage of time I had to leave a 10 marker in this year's paper. वरना मेरे को 4-5 मार्क्स और आ ही जाते हैं had I managed to answer that question as well. So this is how you limit your syllabus for GS3. So कोई भी compilation देख लेना, like any mains compilation तरह तरह के coaching institutes provide करते हैं, या PYQs are the Bible. So look out for them. Else have shared my notes in the Telegram channel that I have mentioned below. So देख लेना. So this is how you you limit your syllabus and give closure to till what point you are supposed to study, read. न्यूज़पेपर्स इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाते हैं, ये बात ध्यान रखना फॉर GS3 एंड GS2 टू. ठीक. आंसर राइटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी. सो GS3 में नंबर ऑफ डायमेंशंस इज डायरेक्टली रिवॉर्डेड. लाइक देर आर सम perspectives that a lot of data is rewarded. Blindly lot of data mention करने से क्या होता है? So it's not, if you are mentioning some remotely relevant data or irrelevant data और बस keyword देख के वो data याद आ गया तो लिख दिया, that's not how it is. So if you are mentioning any data point, it should be explaining, it should be substantiating, it should be making your argument effective. तो तभी डेटा मेंशन करना वैलिड हो जाता है. Honestly, in this year's mains I have mentioned lesser data points than I have mentioned in my previous mains, but this year I could cover more dimensions and I have touched थोड़ा out of the box dimensions also. जैसे सोलर एनर्जी के बारे में पूछा गया था, लाइफ साइकिल एमिशंस. I have touched life cycle emissions. I have also touched about the ecological nuances of solar parks, land availability, the limited resource का जो वो होता है, and import dependency. So the wider you touch, the better marks you get in GS3. That thing is uniform for anyone. And second thing is, whatever is asked, you can add one extra subheading. भले ही 1-2 पॉइंट ही लिखो, so that will give your answer an edge over others. जैसे if you are asked about what is inclusive development, what are the measures taken by India so far तो इसमें एक you can add a section about what are the drawbacks of the measures taken so far and why is India not able to achieve inclusive development even after 80 years, and एक पॉजिटिव आउटलुक के साथ कंक्लूजन लिख देना. सो एज एन इंटीग्रल part of Viksit Bharat of 2047, inclusive development is a very widely defined term in terms of inclusion on various fronts like gender, social, economic. तो ये एक डायमेंशन एक्सपैंड करने के वजह से मतलब the dimension should be relevant to the question in continuation of the other points that you have mentioned, not something outright different. So इससे these are the two things that I have incorporated this year that have given me marks, and introductions and conclusions are very important as any other paper. So इसमें GS3 में introductions and conclusions में committee reports, data, and especially if you are quoting economic survey or writing something that is in continuation of the question, मतलब ऑर्गेनिकली लिखो, मतलब डेटा मेंशन करना है ये बैक ऑफ माइंड रख के वहाँ जाना इज पॉइंटलेस. सो वट एवर इज़ बीइंग आस्क्ड वो ज़्यादातर स्किप कर देते हैं विथ ऑल दीज थिंग्स, विथ ऑल दिस प्री कंसीव्ड नोशन, तो वो नहीं करना. सो आंसर द क्वेश्चन रियली. नाउ GS3 में इनऑर्डिनेट अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम हम लोग इन्वेस्ट करने के वो वी फॉल प्रे टू दैट. So this is how once you limit the syllabus you start writing answers. GS3 में आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस इतना मैटर नहीं करता as compared to other GS papers, but to keep these pointers in mind while writing dimensions, consciously trying and generating dimensions there, and one extra subheading and answering the question really, what is being specifically asked in the question. So हम बहुत डेटा लेके जाते हैं एग्ज़ाम में and we feel the urge to vomit it out entirely in the exam. So that will not work. Because of that there is a danger that we might take our answer in an entirely different direction than what is being asked. वही होता है. So ये by doing these things you can use the time optimally for studying, for mock tests and for other GS papers. And yeah, GS1 and GS3 have also have some little this intersection, but other than that GS3 doesn't have much intersection with any other paper unless your optional is economics. So yeah, that's about time allocation. So data sources. So because of this year's prelims people will anyways be looking out for PIBs. जो PIB का data है ना, and if it is referring to some survey like National Family Health Survey, Economic Survey, budget documents, and a higher education survey, I don't remember the exact name, and ACER survey, ठीक है, and according to the reply in Parliament by Ministry of Agriculture and ये सब farmer welfare. So ये मतलब when you mention such names and committee recommendations like Shekatkar committee in especially internal security में committee recommendations are well proven marks fetchers. तो ऐसे डेटा सोर्सेस ऐसे कर लेना एंड मेंटेन देम इन ए प्लेस. मतलब ये जो प्लेस होल्डर्स क्रिएट करते हैं आप इकोनॉमी में, इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट, इसमें लाइक व्हाट आर द डेटा पॉइंट्स यू कैन मेंशन, ऐसे प्लेस होल्डर्स बना के टॉपिक वाइज, सब टॉपिक वाइज यू कैन राइट सम डेटा पॉइंट्स, सम स्ट्राइकिंग डेटा पॉइंट्स, सम लेटेस्ट डेटा पॉइंट्स, तो जिनके वजह से योर इंट्रोडक्शंस एंड कंक्लूजन्स कैन बी very well answering the core demand of the question. So this is about GS3. If you have any specific questions, if you want to have a look at how I have written my answers, you can check the Telegram channel I have shared. I have shared my GS3 paper in that. And I have also shared the notes of my GS3 Notion. So all the best.